Rockstar groups, you're supposed to be on the call. That's cool. I'm just getting set up right now, so I'll just be 2 more minutes. Just waiting for something to start working here. Be right back, guys. Did everybody copy?
Yep.
Thumbs up.
Hello.
Baby noises.
Yeah, that's my son. It's 2.5. He wants me to come hang out.
So no Tom yet, or I see Tom's on, but he's muted.
I'm here. I'm just getting a couple things sorted out. My light just burnt out.
Tom in the darkness.
Doom, 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 doom. Doo, 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 doo. Imagine a world where Smarties have no calories. You've entered the denial zone.
They're little, right?
Seriously, I could have had the best high school improv career, and I was just too busy playing sports, I guess.
Yeah.
Wasted my life.
So I just came home to take some migraine drugs, so I'm sitting here in the dark.
Well, I knew that. I intuited that. And that is exactly why I sabotaged my, energy-saving, totally worth the $25 because it'll last you forever light bulb that I bought 3 weeks ago.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're like, Christina will appreciate less light.
Yeah.
But I came home, I was actually thinking, if I pop some drugs now, this migraine might be gone in time for me to go lift tonight.
Optimism.
So I left work rather than waiting till 5:30 to come home and take drugs.
All right. Well, okay, so let's bash on with the call. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, John. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Tom.
You're a new person. Are you on Photocracy Rockstar 5 or are you one-on-one?
One-on-one.
Hi.
Am I in the right room right now?
Yeah. So how we do our Hangouts, we do 2 Hangouts per week, and the intent of these Hangouts are really, it's a good question what the real intent of this is. It's hard to say. Mostly it's an opportunity for me to just talk about random things for about an hour that have some relation to fitness, we should hope. But really, we have 6 or 7 current Rockstar groups. We have one-on-one, so you and John are both one-on-one clients. Brian is in the Photocracy Rockstar group, correct, Mr.
Yes.
Hi-Fi?
Yes.
Christina is one of the originals, so she's got that Sons of Anarchy patch. If you guys watch Sons of Anarchy. I didn't feel like that ended well. I felt like it could have been a better ending, like a Sopranos kind of ending.
No. I haven't watched it.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay. It's worth watching.
No. We watch on Netflix. So we saw this past season, but not the one that just ran.
Yeah, I watch it on illegal torrents because I'm an iconoclast. Or just cheap. Like, iconoclast can sometimes be a fancy word for cheap. Brian, what was this thing is this getting too personal? If I go, you got this thing with, colorist of the year, of all these, that's awesome, man.
Oh, thanks. No, that's not too personal.
I probably should ask.
I work in comic books, but also means I sit all day, so that's why these workouts are good for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually work in fitness, and I sit all day, too. I don't know how that happened. So that happened accidentally like 6 months ago when I was like, oh, I'll try this photocracy thing, and it just kind of blew up because apparently being a trainer for the last, since 2003. So that's like 12 years now. Anyways, it works out well because they actually, apparently photocracy clients are actually looking for a group of coaches that actually have been real trainers. Imagine that. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? So, Victoria, what's your photocracy name?
Yorshik88.
Sorry?
Yorshik, YORSHIK. Can you hear me? You might
Yeah.
have okay. Yeah, it's Yorshik88.
Did you just sign up like in the last couple hours?
Ago? Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that I'm already part of this warm group. And I was like doing my nerdy stuff with the workflows. Like, oh, hang on. Sure. Hello, everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, yeah, we've had a kind of a huge influx of people today and this weekend. So that's awesome.
That was delicious choco pie. I was trying to show.
You're pumping the chocolate pie? This is your first hangout and you're promoting processed carbohydrates.
Choco pie, Korean snack. Everyone laugh.
We're gonna like block the camera feed in a second here. All right. Well, we're gonna talk about that. John, good to have you. Good to have you back. Did you hit a workout today? Because you sent me a message today promising you were gonna hit a workout.
I did.
Okay, good. Did you track it?
I did. Yeah, it's up.
Okay, beautiful, dude. I just finished training myself. We got Anna Marie on the call too. Anna Marie, which group are you coming from? Yeah. Waiting. Oh, is your mic not working? Okay, who's got the phone that keeps going?
I apologize. That's me.
What a surprise!
I can't get my charger working, and but I'm trying to be here, even though my phone's at like 9%.
Okay, I'll bear with you.
I'll put it on mute. I'll put it on mute.
Okay, but how about you put it on mute, and if you want to ask a question, take it off mute, okay?
Okay.
Because if I put you on mute, then I won't. I might miss something that you want to ask. And we've got a lot of people on this call already. Probably only have room for like 2 more. Let me just tell Mitch and Paige to stay off, just so we can get more clients on. And then I'll start bashing on. It's full. Okay. Alrighty, guys. How's everybody's Monday going? Adrian, how'd your holiday season go? Nothing. Okay, so for those that are new to the call, I just want to preface this, if you will, with what the intent of a call is. It's really just an opportunity for people to, well, listen to me talk, God forbid. So apologies for that. I'll try to keep it entertaining. I'll try to make it relevant to fitness. And but the other thing is just to see some other faces and kind of make some connections. One of the things that I really like about photocracy is the fact that it's almost like the photo negative of Facebook. And I say that, and we actually have a really cool Facebook group that's secret and that nobody can see unless they're explicitly invited to, and that's what we call the Rockstar Universe, where we try to get people together in a positive way on Facebook, because people tend to use Facebook a lot. We also do Instagram, Twitter. We have an amazing recipe cookbook, if you will, on Pinterest that Paige works really hard on. We have 2 other we have one other coach, Mitch, and we have an admin cohort type person named Paige, or R2 Rage. So the purpose of these calls is really just to facilitate connections and share experiences and pick Tom's brain and acknowledge people that are doing really well, or people that are just reconnecting after, like, maybe they fall off the wagon, and also to greet people that are just getting started and help them get off to on the right foot. So I got a couple questions over here that people asked today that Mitch was good enough to send me, but I also just drank about 100 grams of whey protein, and I just finished a 3-hour workout, so I'm a little thirsty. But if anybody on the call right now has a question and they want to ask it, fire them away.
Actually, yeah, I sent you a message, but I found out today when I was doing the crowd that my left shoulder,
You're kind of quiet there, Brian or John. What'd you say? You found out today you had something wrong with your shoulder?
Yeah, my left shoulder is just really weak compared to my right one, probably because of a cold injury. So I'm wondering what's the best way I can start bringing that up to par.
That's a really good question. Now, weak shoulder is kind of insufficient diagnosis for me to actually give you specific programming information. But what we could do is, the best option would probably be to do just a one-on-one chat and get a little more detail. Like, what specifically do you mean by weak shoulder? Do you know why are you coming to that conclusion?
Well, when I was doing the shoulder press, I didn't have pain, but my right shoulder I was able to get 20 pounds without issue. With my left shoulder, just kept failing halfway through the set.
Okay, so but was there any pain in the left shoulder, or was it just that it was a little lagging behind?
No pain. It was just weaker.
Okay, so then what I would do is I would actually break the exercise up into just doing the, that's my right, yeah. Just doing the right-hand side first for whatever the prescribed number of repetitions is for your specific training. And then I would go over to the left, and I would get as many reps as I can. And when I started to have a hard time, so don't go to the absolute finish, but leave yourself like 2 reps worth, and then take a break for a minute, repeat, and then continue that until you exceed the number of repetitions you hit on the right side. Then go back to the right side. I would only do 2 sets on the right side, but I would do as many sets as it takes on the left side to hit that same number of repetitions. Okay? And if you start to experience any pain, though, then you need to send a direct message to Mitch. Send it over to Mitch, because Mitch has got a clear understanding of how to deal with these problems, and it's his full-time job. Well, it's not his full-time job, but his full-time focus is actually programming. And so he'll get you the specific shoulder rehab stuff that you might need to do, because there could be a number of things going on, okay?
Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions?
Hey, Tom, do you have any recommendations for dealing with douchebag lurkers at the gym?
Why would I have recommendations with that?
I don't know, because you've owned a gym before?
Because I've lived in a gym for the last 20 years. Douchebag lurkers. Define the problem.
Well, so the same dude has been like watching me work out 3 different times this week, and like walking around me, doing laps, and then last night he finally just decided to like pop a squat and hang out next to me while I'm working out.
Is he talking to you, or?
Nope, just watching, being creepy. I kind of felt like going over and being like, get away. I don't know.
Call them
It's
out.
kind of an interesting question. Usually, guys like that don't respond well to assertiveness, especially in a well-supervised situation like a gym. So if you just say, like, is there something I can help you with? And I wouldn't, like, the other thing that they can really capitalize upon is like aggression, right? So if you just walk up and say, excuse me, is there something I can help you with? They're probably gonna piss off. And if they don't, I would just go ask the people that are monitoring the gym, like, I'm kind of feeling uncomfortable here. This guy, you know, and I would, you know, specifically illustrate the situations you've experienced, so they don't just write you off. And just say, like, you know, is there maybe somebody could talk to this guy? Surprise me if it isn't the first time that's been reported. And if they don't do anything, then I'd be like, it's time to find another gym.
I mean, like, this is another contributing reason to, I feel like, why I'm going to drop 24-hour fitness. And
well, yeah, so, yeah. And, like, I talked about a couple weeks ago about how, like, underground gyms are where it's at. And
well, right, and I'm actually going to the underground gym tonight, as long as I can knock this migraine out before then.
Yeah.
But and the creepy guys at the 24-hour fitness, but
yeah, because that's where creepy guys hang out, at the bus stations, which is what 24-hour fitness is for fitness. So yeah, I would just say, you know, don't feed into his pattern, confront him, and you know, that should probably do it. And or I would just, or maybe just go and talk to the, you know, I've never been at a 24-hour fitness, but at we have Good Life Fitness up here in Canada, and I just go to the front and be like, hey, this guy's kind of like freaking me out. You know, is there anything I need to know? Can you guys maybe just go talk to him? That should scare him off. I would just deal with it, you know? It's like, you're paying to be there and exercise. You have every right to be there. How about it?
Deal with it like, oh, big girl panties, deal with it.
Yeah, put on the big girl panties. Be assertive. Be assertive. Not aggressive, but
I'm
assertive.
really fine with being assertive and aggressive in plenty of other situations, but this situation, this is my, like, weak area, and all of a sudden I turn retarded and quiet.
Yeah, so a lot of people have this problem when they go into gyms where they feel like powerless, I guess. They feel like they're not entitled to be there because, you know, they're not CrossFit gods and they're not lifting more than everyone else, and that's complete bullshit. Having owned a gym before, don't own one anymore because it's a tough business, but anyways, this is way more fun. And I have a lot of clients that I train in person. Actually, I don't have that many anymore because it's kind of just fun to train a few. But, I mean, owning a gym is a tough gig, so whatever. That's not the issue we're talking about right now. But people have so many preconceived notions about going into a gym that are all bullshit. And really, if you went into a theater, if you went into a restaurant, if you went into a coffee shop and somebody was acting like a jackass, you would walk up and you'd tell the people that you just were giving your hard-earned money to be there, hey, someone's acting like a jackass. There's this, for some reason, there's this, like, has anyone seen Mean Girls when, like, the whole scene transforms into this, like caveman-esque kind of scene, and everyone's, like, just acting upon their baser impulses? It's the same kind of thing in a gym. People think that it's, like, it's a meat market, or it's just there's a complete lack of social norms. And that's not accurate at all. And so just let go of those notions, okay? Just let go of that and just be the person that you are. Imagine yourself, you know, in a boardroom meeting and somebody is not being appropriate to you or one of your coworkers, and what kind of steps would you take at that point?
Okay.
And just
all right,
get on with it. Because this is not the first time we've talked about oh, well, I was at the gym, but somebody was doing something, and I didn't want to get in the way, and it's like, just, put on the big girl panties. You're a smart person.
Good call.
Okay?
We'll pretend like it's a board meeting or I'm at a coffee shop. I got no problem dealing with douchebags in a meeting.
Yeah. So just...
I'll kick you in the teeth.
Yeah. Well, don't kick them in the actual teeth, because I don't want to have to, testify. But, okay. All right, so next, anybody else got any other questions? This has brought me back to my university days when I was a bouncer. Okay, sorry, Tiffany, what were you asking?
When it comes to deadlifts, I'm not having necessarily pain, but it's kind of like an annoyance in my lower back when I'm doing them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sister. Just represent. That
sounds...
So, are you doing... Oh, hold on. Let me have a look. Hey, yeah. I'm just gonna have a look at what you're doing right now, okay?
Okay. I did them today. 55 pounds.
Yeah, but you should be on 40S2 or 40S3, or sorry, Mulgenor 2.
I'm on 2 right now. I'm going to the 3rd one this week.
Okay, so for everyone listening that doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, we have a huge template of different workouts, and they're all organized under some names that makes it easier for us to manage the complexity of managing training for almost 100 people. And so when we're talking about a Mulgenor workout, that means a workout that has rack pulls. So for starters, the whole point of doing a rack pull is to only do it through a range of motion where your back is actually staying in like a neutral spine position. Okay, so are you doing a deadlift, or are you doing like a rack pull with an abbreviated range of motion?
No, it was the Romanian dumbbell deadlifts.
Oh, okay. How much weight are you using?
55 pounds total.
Okay, how much weight are you... No, that's too much. So, okay. So, we'll have to... So, okay, I'm going to put a note on my task software here. By the way, if you're looking at some really good task management software, Asana, it's good stuff for team management. So I'm going to make a note, and we'll put up a video about how to... how to assess a proper spine position, because it sounds like you're using too much weight. And that movement, for a lot of people, I start off with just no weight at all, or like 5 pounds on each side. Okay? Are you working out at home, or are you working out in the gym?
I do both, and I have worked out with a personal trainer for 2 years before I started doing this. So I'm not beginners.
No,
I think the main thing is in the detailed description, which I read, and it didn't seem quite right, but it said to arch your back.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's maybe wrong, since you're saying otherwise.
No, but there might be a little bit of a terminology issue. Arching your back means pulling your shoulder blades down towards your pockets in your pants, okay? And so as you're facing so arching your back is pulling your shoulders back and sticking your chest up, okay? Rounding your back is allowing your shoulder blades to come apart, and that can place a lot of stress on your lower back. Your first point about working with a trainer for 2 years, definitely very beneficial, and I'm not questioning your trainer's abilities, but it's important to remember that even like elite athletes have their form checked routinely, because it's just the nature of what we do, where if you're sitting a lot, you can see degradation in form. So even if you're an elite athlete, I would say let's look at your form first and make sure that you're doing everything right. Neutral spine is just I guess Christina's migraine took over. Neutral spine means a little bit of an arch, okay? Or it didn't. Welcome back, Christina. It doesn't mean, like, if you look at someone that's performing a deadlift and they're in neutral spine, that doesn't mean that the spine is straight. The spine is designed to be an arch. That's how it's supposed to be loaded, and every one of the vertebrae is supposed to be responsible for a little bit of rotation, if you will. So that's something I'd want to check, and the best way to check that is with a dowel. And there's an exercise that I have on YouTube that I could share with you, and you could try that out and just make sure that you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't done deadlifts until we started them, so it's very possible I could be doing them wrong.
Yeah, and like 2 years of working with a trainer, like trainers are they specialize in all sorts of different things, right? So the thing that like Mitch and I specialize in is teaching proper mechanics for body weight based movements and then progressing to adding additional resistance. That's kind of our approach. There's a lot of different approaches. I mean, and they're very beneficial, but they might not have covered the same things that we're trying to cover. But at the same time, like I said, I mean, even me today, there was 2 sets where my one hand had drifted off, and so one of my training partners was like, "You need to bring your hand in." It's just the nature of the human organism that we're just going to mess up once in a while, and so we need to make sure that that gets dialed in. Now, the next thing I would say is that sometimes, like, if there's any pain a day after you're doing the exercise, then that's a concern for me. If you're feeling those muscles working, it's just sometimes people are very concerned about their lower back muscles because there is a lot of concern about people injuring their lower backs, right? But they're just muscles like any other muscles. As long as they're being correctly loaded, which we are going to confirm, so I'm not just writing this off, but I'm just saying that sometimes you can be doing everything right, and just those muscles are the ones that are the least active at this particular moment in your life, and so they're going to be the ones that feel it the most. They're the weak link in the chain. So that might be a possibility as well.
Yeah, and I don't get the soreness until about the 9th or 10th set, or not set, rep in the set.
Okay.
So and I haven't had pain the next day or anything. It's just it's one of those things.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna drill down into that. So we're gonna drill down into John's shoulder. And Tiffany, what group are you in, Tiffany? You're in 2, Rockstar 2?
I believe so.
Sorry. You're Tiffany Do, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just it'll be easier to find you that way.
Gotcha.
Lower back. And then also Christina, big girl panties.
Got it, thanks.
Sorry.
By the way, in other news, I found this thing called Booty Revolution last night. It was kind of funny. When you guys are not at work, check out Booty Revolution.
Okay. Can you please post the link?
Okay.
Okay, thanks. The other thing, yeah, you know what, Tiffany, that's a good point. So the other thing is that this is something I noticed too, like, so I do like 2-3 hour what I call PD sessions a week, where I collect articles all week long. This is funny too because everyone has this. We put up this Facebook group, secret group. Nobody can see it unless you're explicitly invited to it. And the whole point of it was to increase people posting random things about, trying to become healthier. It was just for people that are actually paying clients, so it was very heavily moderated. And me, Paige, and Mitch moderate it all the time. I think we have Christina helping moderate it too. We do, don't we?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's heavily
Because this is
moderated.
one of those safe spaces that I will kick you in the teeth if you're a douchebag.
Yeah. So the point is, it's a positive, welcoming environment. The thing is that Facebook has some really nice functionality as far as posting videos. You know, yeah, they own the content, whatever. But it's something, everybody speaks Facebook. So my point is that about a year ago, I was like, I'm just going to cancel my Facebook because it's all the people I grew up with, and it's really negative and shitty, and I don't like it. And I was like, or I could just kick everyone that I don't like out of my Facebook and start adding all of these cool trainers across the world that I really respect. And so now, actually, like half of my reading list that I get, I have to do readings twice a week because even though I've been doing this forever, there's always new stuff and new techniques that I could be acquiring. And my point, I'm getting back to my point, Tiffany, is that there's this cool little thing for the lower back that I was looking at. I guess that was actually 3 weeks ago. And I've been meaning to get into the programming and work it into what we do with people. And it's all about like orienting the pelvis correctly, activating the core correctly. The core is incredibly misunderstood, and there's this relationship between the pelvis and the psoas and all this stuff. Anyway, so yada yada yada. I'm making a note to get that out, and we'll get that out this week because I've started using it myself with myself and the powerlifting crew that I train, because we're constantly trying to find ways to rehabilitate our lower backs after doing like crazy heavy deadlifts, squats, and just beating the crap out of ourselves. We literally spend about 30% of our training time is spent fixing the damage we do because we're always pushing the max. So, and it's worked out really well. It's been something that, I mean, it's one thing to have a research paper or have some other guy say it's a good idea, but when you actually take that and apply it in person, and then you see that it's working, it's like, okay, well, let's like pump this out to the clients so that it's actually going to help them out too. So thanks for that reminder, because and stay tuned for that, because that'll be one of the new articles we put out this week. So yada yada yada. Good question. Anybody else got any other questions? Let me make a note though of that so I actually remember to do it, because we got a lot going on around here. TVA activation with reciprocal innervation. How do you spell reciprocal? Anybody know how to spell reciprocal? Don't worry about it. I'm sure I'll understand what it means. Okay. No more questions. I got a couple questions from the Facebooks that I'm covering. AJ had a question about dumbbell alternatives to goblet squats. Hold on. Thank you, reciprocal. How about innervation? No, I got innervation. Victoria, you don't have any questions. You just got started. You should have at least one or two questions other than, can I eat chocolate pies or whatever you were.
No, I feel unfair because people already actually work out, and I have like a new calmer questions type of thing. Actually,
you also have a really cute dog on your bed right now.
I know. I kind of gave him super ridiculous haircut, so I feel very ashamed for.
Yeah.
So Victoria, I'm Christina, and I'm officially the client advocate / cheerleader, and as a former new person, feel totally free to ask those new questions, and you'll find yourself later at times. You'll be doing, hey Willow, you'll be doing things, and then you'll be like, oh gosh, I know this sounds kind of retarded, but I think I forgot something, or I think I might have misunderstood something that's been, since the initial training, or since the initial, like, read all the stuff. Like, yeah. Oh, it turns out I was supposed to move on from 40th number 1. Because apparently, like, I wasn't supposed to do the same exact workout for an entire month. And
yeah.
So to other people, that may have been abundantly clear, but somehow that went over my head. and I kept doing the same workout. Anyway, so things like that where you think, oh, I got this. Don't worry about asking questions. It's safe.
Absolutely. And
I can't find the Hangout on my computer. I clearly hear you. I can't find where the window is.
oh, which operating? I'm running Linux, so I got Ubuntu going here. So I mean, I go over to the side, and there's like 3 little fingers on my Google Chrome. Geez, I can't remember how Windows works. I haven't used Windows in a while. Anybody using Windows? Nobody's using Windows. Everybody's mobile.
So okay.
I guess the
if you hit
Shopify newsletter I've had is bang on. Sorry.
You should be able to look
Or
at
just
your
Alt
start.
Tab, right?
Yeah, Alt Tab will take you to
Try
the
Alt
different
Tab.
screens.
I'm using Mac, and I never know how to do that.
I bet you Brian's using Mac. See, I nailed it. I don't know if Tiffany, because she works for the. She
I
probably
like
uses
to
Windows.
play Uber video games, so no, I have a crazy rig from CyberPower.
Oh, my boyfriend has the same. He hates this.
I'm actually like, I have been like a Mac wannabe forever, and I just got this We're not talking about fitness anymore, guys. Anyways, I just got this like iPad, and it's the most delicious experience of my life. And I'm like, I really need to get a Mac, but I like Linux because it's cheap. I don't know. I guess I'm cheap, and it just doesn't crash. So, whatever. Anyways, but questions? Any questions? So we haven't even got your initial. So first thing I would say is check your email. If you're using Gmail, you want to make sure that you check your spam filter, because there's going to be a notification about a survey that you need to fill out. So that's for Victoria, and then once you fill the survey out.
No, actually, I did fill the entire survey. I measured everything I could by myself. The only thing I wanted to suggest is there any way to add like pictures to this survey, because I had to do Google search like what is that in between my forearm. I didn't know, should I measure the length of my distance between like my elbow and my shoulder, or should I measure like around of my arm? So if you would add some pictures, it would make survey taking much easier.
That's actually a great question. We're actually, hey John,
Hey.
we're going to, no, I wasn't going to announce. Oh, fuck it. I'll announce it. Anyway, we're going to come up with a new survey because that one sucks. There you go. And,
Let me try and
20 minutes.
let me try and explain that too. What you're looking for is the circumference around you
yeah, but
at those
okay, so
locations vertically.
let me just, okay, so one, yeah, thanks, Christina. That is helpful. Except that doing all those measurements is a little bit too much. Really, 90% of the change you're going to see is going to be around the bust. It's going to be around the waist. It's going to be around the hips. So, and the other problem with measuring the like your arm circumference or your calf circumference is that might change for a number of reasons. Your arm might actually increase because you're adding muscle mass. But the nice thing about the big three, if you will, or maybe I shouldn't call it the big three, but is that that's only going to go down if you're, and it depends again, but if your primary goal is like over 15 pounds of weight loss, which might not apply, I don't know, I'm not trying to be presumptuous, but for most clients, it's like, that's all they need to do is just wrap, and it's really easy to landmark because you're just like, okay, so wrap the tape measure around your nipples, and like you don't have to get naked, whatever. Anyways, and then wrap it around your belly button, and then wrap it around your hips, and then you're done. So there's a couple things about the current survey that I'm not a huge fan of. It kind of makes the onboarding process a little bit more painful than I would like, and it doesn't provide any additional information. And there's some other questions that I would rather ask. And was the question that you were looking for pictures to give instruction about where you were taking the measurements, or was it that you wanted to do like before pictures?
No. I wanted to find out like what exactly I should measure in terms of like if it's upper arm, the circumference, whatever.
Circumference, yeah.
Yeah, because I was confused. Like I had to find some big dude on YouTube and the other dude who was measuring him to figure out that actually that's what I had to measure instead of that. Because from description, that's how it sounded to me.
I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to do that like so quickly, and that's something actually that's really been nice about everybody is that they're very keen. So we're doing our best to process all the surveys and provide them with the programming they need to start getting results right away. But my point is that not to make you feel like you wasted your time, but some of the questions in the survey are not the ones that I would ask. They're ones that Photocracy designed. And there's other questions I would like to ask that are more like behavioral that we don't
but
we don't
you
get.
can do it using Google Docs. You don't have to use Photocracy for it. You can do survey using Google.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, and that's something we actually experimented with. And there's a couple other things like. Anyways, there's a couple other technologies we could use. Like Google Docs is nice. There's some limitations, but there's also like the Google App scripting language that we can use, and so there's a whole bunch of tech stuff that we're working on right now to make it work better. So short answer, and then we actually every 2 weeks we get you to use a Google Docs survey or Google Docs form to collect information so that you can see your progress. So yeah. So that's something we're working on. I think it's scheduled. We'll have it ready by Friday, I think. But I can post an update about that too. So, but we are trying to like build better systems all the time, just because that frees us up to have like conversations with clients and address specific issues. So yeah. Any other questions, or I've still got these. Okay, so let me just, you guys, if you want to just think about, John, how you doing, by the way? I haven't had a chance to say hi to you.
Not bad. I just got done working out.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, how'd it go?
Good.
No embellishment whatsoever. Okay.
No.
You're a color commentator in your past life, yeah. So, what workout did you hit?
The Mjolnir 2.
Mjolnir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's so embarrassing because apparently I didn't spell Mjolnir right, and then apparently we've got a guy from like, I don't know. Oh, and I don't have the chat open right now, so people could be saying things and I'm not even hearing them. We got a guy that does like comics and stuff, and I did a horrible job of spelling Mjolnir. So I apologize, Brian, if I've offended you in any way. By the way, when was the last time you had a workout, man?
It's been a week. I got sick last Sunday. I've been pretty much on the couch for a week.
Okay, so we have a good article about...
Remember, you had to go on antibiotics.
What?
Right? You came out with strep throat? Is that right?
That wasn't me, no.
No, that's... Who did that?
Oh, Jay Colson.
Oh, right. Okay, different guy. But yeah, so there's actually a really good article on tomlin.com about, where it's actually a video thing about like why you get sick when you start doing a new routine, and basically your immune system draws from, this is a massive oversimplification, although you gotta go down here, huh? Okay, so, but I mean, exercise is a stressor, and stressors place a load on the immune system, and that's a positive thing because eventually they strengthen it, they build up the your body's reserves, but there is like a temporary window where you're actually weaker and your immune system's a little bit weaker. And what that means is that there's an opportunity for you to be more receptive to getting sick. Now, in a perfect world, I mean, we would manage this with all sorts of like biometrics that we would check, but that's just so complex, and we just don't have the technology to do it yet. So we try to tell people at the beginning, take it easy and just do the minimum effective dosage type workout. Don't go too crazy. But it's just human nature that some people do, and sometimes those people end up getting sick. So, and it's not the end of the world. It just knocks you on your ass for a couple of days, and you get back up, and you usually recover, and you become stronger. But it is something that's pretty common. I'd say like almost 30% of people that start an exercise routine within 3 weeks report that they have a setback because they got sick. And it's not really a setback. The other thing that's interesting is that our initial meal plan is very low carb, and it's almost ketogenic. It is ketogenic, to be quite blunt. And what a ketogenic meal plan does is it actually causes cells that have a potential to become cancerous to die. Not all cells, and this is not like a cancer cure or anything, but when we reduce the amount of available blood glucose, any cell that's kind of setting itself up to become cancerous actually has a really hard time functioning in that environment, and sometimes it just breaks itself down and it just gets passed out into the blood system, and in so doing it can release some nastiness and punish the immune system and degrade the immune system even more than you would normally see. So your immune system gets a little bit depressed at that point. It's a short-term pain for a long-term gain because you're clearing out a lot of problems that you might have in the future. And there's a lot of really great articles about doing short-term fasts. This is not an endorsement for cleanses. I don't endorse cleanses, but either like a 24-hour fast every now and then in a perfectly healthy person, not right now, but or just a ketogenic diet for 3 days, 7 days, every now and then will really pay a lot of dividends to improve your health and your longevity. So those are some reasons why we can see people getting sick. The other reason is just the holiday season. I mean, that can kind of kick shit out of anybody. So, yeah. So yada, yada, yada. That's just a little explanation for that, I guess. Any questions about that? By the way, I'm in the dark because my energy-efficient light bulbs apparently decided to die, and yeah. That's what you get for trying to take care of the Earth, I guess. Interested to hear how everybody else has been doing with their workouts. I'm just going to go from like left to right on the screens. So
hey, real
Brian,
quick, sorry, Tyler, can you mute your phone, please? Sorry.
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh, why?
Oh, we were just getting a fair amount of background noise.
Okay.
But she muted, so we're good.
Okie dokie. So, oh, jeez. Okay. So, Brian, how's the training been going?
Doing the workouts on schedule. Still struggling with some of the upper body stuff. Trying to move up to the next level of weight, and just find myself not having the endurance to do the number of reps that I would like. But I guess slow but steadily getting there.
Okay. I'll just take a quick peek at your macros and see how you're making out. Are you on MyFitnessPal too?
Yes.
Beautiful, dude. Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, my meal plan was pretty good until the holidays. The last 2 weeks have been up and down, but now that everybody's out of the house, I'll be getting back to it.
Yeah, if you're having a hard time like recovering and having energy between workouts, then my go-to response would be like, we bring in a little bit more carbs. Carbs are not the enemy, as like, I just talked about a keto. So, and I didn't even explain what a ketogenic diet was. Ketogenic diet means your body your brain at least starts running on ketones, which is a byproduct of fat metabolism, and it's usually when your blood glucose drops below a certain level, your brain can actually function on fat, and it's also very good for fat burning. But most coaches that have been doing this for a while have observed, we don't have research to back this up because research is limited because of funds and the ability to put people into like metabolic labs for long periods of time and then analyze them is something that there just isn't the money to do. So a lot of your nutritional coaches will see things that we won't see in research. And one of the things we see is that after a while, the effect of a ketogenic diet becomes less and less effective. And you really need to actually teach people how to manage carbs correctly. So that's just a little bit of background, and I'm sorry if that doesn't make a lot of sense, because it's kind of hard to explain something that, to be quite honest, right now is more of an art than a science, because like I said, science doesn't have it's not pursuing that kind of thing. So instead you look at guys like John Meadows or Shelby Starnes or Kiefer, or these guys that are just giants and actually coaching like people and providing a lot of really great information. And what I've observed is that the more carbs you can, so we kind of move between these phases of like ketogenesis or low carbs, and then we try to bring carbs back in because we want to encourage the ability of people to process carbs, because they're actually quite important for being able to sustain improvements in strength. And if we don't sustain improvements in strength, then we don't have a foundation upon which we can create greater fat loss or just better energy. So long story short, I guess I'm trying to say, like, there is no such thing as a bad macronutrient. They all have their value, and there's always a time and place. Okay, so
yeah, I'm doing the workouts. Maybe just take a look at the MyFitnessPal information that you have access to for me, and if you've got some feedback, I'd be open ears for it.
Yeah, I also sent you a message too. I was like, because you had a couple questions like a week or two ago, and I was like, why don't we just do a quick chat over the phone or something like that? So if you want to do that in the near future, let me know, and we'll set that up.
Okay.
Just give me 24 or 48 hours to actually schedule it in, because my days get a little bit slammed.
Same way here. I will talk to you, after this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll send you. I'll just call you real quick when we get done the call. We'll get it sorted out. And just for anybody listening right now or after, if you want to chat with one of the coaches, me or Mitch is just as smart as I am. Not saying I'm smart. Whoa, but he's just as knowledgeable as I am when it comes to programming. He has my ear every day, multiple times a day, and anyways, so he's a really great guy to talk to too. But I'm not trying to pass the buck. I've got time for anybody. Christina can verify this, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if a client says, "Hey Tom, I'd really like to talk," I try to accommodate them as quickly as possible. I do have a lot of stuff on the go, but that's my number one priority. Okay? So, and John can back this up too. John sends me a message. How fast do I get back to you, bud?
Usually within 24 hours, if not sooner.
Yeah. And yeah. So, so. And we're not trying to brag. I'm just saying, guys, if you have questions, please reach out. It's so much easier for us to help you instead of you going, well, screw it, I'm just going to ignore all my messages for the next 3 weeks, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to have to start from ground zero. Maybe that wasn't the best term to use. To start from square one. There we go. That's a little bit better. Sorry. But yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to answer 2 questions really quickly. If anybody has anything else they want to ask, feel free. But the first question I got is from AJ, who won the overall challenge last week. By the way, guys, we got a new challenge coming. Paige doesn't know it, but she's going to come up with it. Actually, Christina, if you want, you can help her put that one together.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you might like that.
I love challenges, everybody. They make me happy.
I heard this thing. This just reminded me of a thing because I was going to say, let's go outside of the box on this one. But there really is no such thing as outside of the box. There is just understanding which box you're operating within at this particular moment and understanding the parameters that are required of that box. And that was a neat little, I don't know who told me that. I'm going to go with Tim Ferriss because usually it's Tim Ferriss. Like, I just worship that guy, which is pathetic, I guess. But anyways, I don't think it was Tim Ferriss. I think it was an Army guy. Anybody knows who that is that said that quote? But I liked it. I thought, you know, every single situation has some parameters that you need to understand. The sooner you can grasp what those parameters are, the more effective you're going to be in that situation. And it's all about pivoting into the situation. And that has nothing to do with fitness, other than it has everything to do with fitness. But it's just a general life tip that I just randomly thought of. Okay, so AJ has a... anyone wants to comment upon that, though, I'd love to hear it. Got a lot of smart people on these calls. Okay, well, that's one comment. Okay, so dumbbell alternatives to goblet squats because the weight is getting to be too heavy for his arms. Huh. That makes me curious. Oh, sorry, you got this?
Remember, you had me switch to you had me switch to using a kettlebell, and then change my grip on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just gonna say that. Thanks. Didn't we do this on a call?
You like me being mind ready.
Well, yeah, I already had this one, Christina. Jeez, you didn't. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I do. Don't stop being you. You're awesome. Okay. So this is how you hold. Yes, I do have kettlebells literally at my desk. This is how you hold a kettlebell when you're doing a goblet squat. So I don't actually have two. I only have one 50-pounder. But you just hold them like this, and I don't have a hard time holding. Okay, I'm kind of strong in all fairness, but you. This is the correct way to hold a kettlebell in a goblet squat. Or you hold it like this, if you're holding one. It's important that you don't hold it like this. You hold it like this, because it'll sit in your palm more correctly, and your palm will actually see how my wrist is aligned. I'm not like this. This is shitty. This is good. Okay? We don't want to beat your wrists up. Your wrist's already taken enough abuse during the day. The other thing I would say about goblet squats, and I've hit over 700 pounds in a squat before in a competition, and I have a pretty tough time with two 50-pound kettlebells in this grip when I'm doing goblet squats. So if you're finding that your upper body can't hold enough weight to challenge your lower body, I think it's probably time to work on your upper body. I'd say that's just a clear indication of that. So there you go. Okay? I'm trying to think if I've covered everything. Yeah, I mean, that's all I'd say is that, one, make sure you're holding them correctly. Make sure the bell is actually just sitting on your forearm. Like, you should have a little imprint of the weight when you're done. And then it's just be careful that you're actually keeping a neutral wrist. And then it's get to work on your upper body. The other thing might be that you have poor thoracic mobility. What that means is that the thoracic component of the spine, so that is this part of the spine right here. Can everybody see that? By the way, CPF Atlantic champs. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, like anybody cares what happens in Canada. Anyways, so this is the thoracic region of the spine. Hopefully you can see it. It starts around the xiphoid process and it works its way up right to the, what's that, sternocleidomastoid joint, okay? And I'm talking about the spine, so I'm talking about actually the, but if you have poor thoracic mobility, you're not going to actually be able to get into a positive arch or a neutral spine. There's a lot of different terms. Sorry, Tiffany, for the confusion on that. But what I mean is that the shoulder blades literally come together slightly and depress, and then I'm in a positive or a neutral position. I'm in a good position, and then I'm sitting the kettlebells literally on my chest. if you're finding when you come out of the hole of the goblet squat that you're rounding over, well, you have a weak core, you have to decrease the weight, and if the biggest challenge is holding onto the bells, it's not because your arms are weak, it's because your legs and your core is weak and your thoracic mobility is weak. So just back off on the weight, slow down on the tempo, and actually come up slow and controlled, and just work on maintaining that upright position. Okay? Next question is, any tips on quitting smoking? Quit the Army. I guess that's just a personal experience. Engineers used to like light charges with cigarette. Anyways, it's a whole thing. Maybe that's just a Canadian Army thing. Tips on quitting smoking. I've heard extras. Eh?
More sex. And better cardio performance.
Not going to disagree with that. It's not really an area that I have any professional expertise on at all. But, so I guess my answer would be that I should get off my ass and go do some research and get you a better answer. So I'm making a commitment to you to do that, and I'll publish some information about it before Friday. Because
thank you.
Okay.
As a personal note, I worked for the American Lung Association for like 7 years, and
is there anything you haven't done? Have you been to the top of Everest? Just checking now.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I haven't done skydiving yet.
We should totally arrange a Rockstar event at the top of Everest.
Okay, so there's a lot of really good resources out there for quitting smoking, and you'll find that there's a lot of concern that most people have that if you quit smoking, you're going to gain weight. And part of that has to do with habit substitution, and you'll go from going out to smoke in the middle of the afternoon to give you a break to going for a snack, or it'll be instead of a cigarette to calm your nerves, you'll have a drink. So just be kind of cognizant of the fact that those kind of habit substitutions do occur, and just be aware of it and go find some help.
So the one thing, looks like Victoria's got something to say, other than just have more sex, which, as a man, I can't really have any problem with that answer. I mean, just putting it out there for all the guys on the planet. But I mean, let's be a little more serious. Like, what did you have something else you want to add? Did you recently do this, or it feels like you got?
No, but my mom, she quit alcoholism, and it was like 10 years of very severe alcoholism, like beyond that you could imagine. And my friend who was smoking 40 cigarettes a day, he quit smoking when he was like 50 years old. And the both ways, the only that worked is the cold turkey. You cannot do any like substitution or like, you know, from regular cigarettes to the e-cigs, or like from the smoking to sucking on lollipops. I've seen so many friends who are trying to do that, and whenever you try to play with like getting different thing in your mouth instead of the cigarette, you basically just mess with your own. I don't know. It's like you're not committing to giving up. You're just switching from one thing to another, and eventually you go back to your usual habit, which is cigarette, because you decide, screw these lollipops, I can't take them anymore, or screw these patches on my body, I don't want to do that anymore. And the nicotine addiction, it is strong addiction in the body's chemical balance, but you just need to go through withdrawal. Like if you go through the withdrawal like a real trooper for a week or 2 weeks, whatever it will take in the body for the certain person, you will be physically over that. and the rest is all about your psychology. If you are ready to give up, just be strong, just sweat it over, and just be done with that. Substitute with the running. Just, pump yourself with the fact that now you can run 6 miles in an hour. Before you barely could run 3 miles. Just something, but not
I can
substitute.
barely run to the end of the block.
So, okay, so
the cold turkey is
there's actually yeah. So let's just so let me just qualify that, because I appreciate what you just said, Victoria, and yeah, I have a hard time not saying like that makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, the North American, I don't know, it's important for people to feel like they're not getting shit on when they're trying to get better too. So one of our customs, if you will, is like a little bit of patience, I guess.
Something like something offensive?
No. But it's I think it's a cultural thing too, where it's like you just gotta fucking do it. Basically, is what you're saying, right?
Well, no, I mean, it depends on where the person stands in this. It's like me. I cannot start working out for the last 2 years. My boyfriend gets very irritated because I talk about it, but I actually don't drag my ass in the gym and don't actually commit to it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find different ways, and I read so many sources, but I still don't do that. But from what I've seen in my personal experience, the only way where people actually could give up on smoking or drinking alcohol is when they just cut it, and that's it. And it's not that I'm saying that you just do it or nothing. No, but it's just the substitution didn't really work.
So what you're saying is the least painful way to do it is to just cut it out, because if they try to do half measures, it's actually more painful.
No, it will be extremely painful to cut it out. They will go through terrible period of craving it and trying to resist to it. It will be a very painful experience.
Yeah.
But this is the one that if they will go through, most likely they will stick with that.
Yeah.
If they will go through a softer version of substituting with something else, that will not guarantee that they will stick with this decision of not getting back to the habit. I'm not saying that. I mean, sorry if I sound too straightforward. I do have this part of it.
It's something that I've always noticed with people from
I'm from Russia.
Eastern Europe. Yeah, I know. I can tell you from Russia, because it's just like, I'm just going to tell you how it is, and it's good. I appreciate it. I'm not questioning what you're saying, and I agree with it. But it's just it's almost like a language barrier or something, where people are like, the way that the message gets sent is a little bit like, it gets a little hard to take. But I'm pretty sure Tyler's just like, yeah, I get it.
I don't even know who I'm talking about. I just it's the question, and so.
No, I mean, it's like fitness too. It's like, you know what? You're gonna start it. Things are gonna be hard. The truth is, you're gonna have to keep doing this for the rest of your life. There are no, so everyone's got things that they're working on.
That is true.
Everyone. So, yeah. All right. Okay, I'm getting like somebody keeps beeping at me. Hold on a second here. Let me just see. Yeah. So, oh great, now I just lost the thing. All right. So, but we actually do have like 3 or 4 Russian rock stars, if you will, and it's just funny because you guys all have the same, hey man, this is how it is kind of mentality, and it's refreshing. I think Canadians are actually, I think sometimes we struggle with way too much politeness. I don't know if I've ever been characterized as being excessively polite myself. Anyways, guys, we're at like an hour and 10 minutes. And that means it's almost 9 o'clock here. Has anybody got anything else they want to talk about?
I have one question.
Okay.
Just basically, I feel like I'm totally fine moving on to the next workouts that are here, but I'm not sure about the increasing the weights yet. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with that. Is it fine that I'm moving on but not increasing the weights?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, short answer. Sorry, I just was scrolling through the Facebook questions, but before I. But yeah, one of the things that we do in the progression is we increase range of motion, which increases the amount of work your muscles have to do. So in effect, you are increasing the weights. It's just not external weights. It's not an external load, but it's still increasing the health and the function of your body. Man, somebody keeps beeping at me here. Hold on a second. There's some sort of like Google Plus chat going on now that people are expecting me to message on.
It's the chat associated with this Hangout.
Oh, so is it just like the thing?
Well, we're still talking about the smoking thing in the chat.
I can't see it on the actual chat in the thing. Yeah, I already got like 11 windows open here, so hold on. Where is this thing? Or is anybody expecting me to like answer on this stuff, or?
No, I'll tell you if I'll tell you.
How do I stop it beeping? It's like, cause you know me with my ADD, I'm like, what's beeping at me right now?
I don't know. It's probably set somewhere.
Okay, I'm just closing this. Hopefully that'll. Okay, so yeah, like so. Basically, you guys are passing notes in class while I'm trying to do a talk. That's what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see the notes.
I can't see the notes because I have a screen with the Hangout in front of me, and it opened from Google Plus, and I can't because I'm a computer idiot at this point. And anyway, okay, so yeah, I would just move on with the workouts as far as they're programmed. Don't worry about the weights too much.
Okay, thank you.
Okie dokie. And good luck with the smoking.
Thank you.
And yeah. All right. So I'm going to shut her down there. Hopefully everybody hits a lift tonight, except for John, who already hit one. Good job, bud. And I think our next hangout time is, I think Thursday. We have a rotating hangout schedule that's published on tomlam.com, and we have a new tab on the website called Hangouts that you can check out. Christina, did I forget anything?
It looked like maybe.
Are you too busy passing notes to actually?
Actually, I was switching over to write a note. It looked like
Christ.
John might have had a question. He started to unmute before. No, okay, all right, never mind. Take it back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is why it's important to pay attention. Okay, well, all right, guys. Well,
that's why I saw him mute.
Whatever, man. Like connection. So this. Okay, so I'll just finish with this quick. So and this is a little bit of a counter thing. Whatever. So. Photocracy is kind of like trying to move or something from like groups to one-on-one coaching, and there's nothing wrong with one-on-one coaching. I love it, but I think there should be a group element to everything because creating more connections and more people that you can empathize with is going to give you more support. I don't know, and so we just I kind of pushed back on that a little bit with the Photocracy HQ types. Where I said, you know what, like groups are still really great. I mean, people get a chance to meet other people across the world that are going through exactly what they're going through, and that builds a little bit more, you know, positivity or strength or motivation. And so, anyways, I don't know what my point was. I had a little bit of a discussion with them about that today. So just because I kind of believe in the fact that you guys are all joining in, participating, and it kind of helps everybody else out. So it helps you out too when you do something to help someone else out. It's, you know, charity or community or something like that. Anyways, the world needs more of that. So I guess I'll just end off on that tangent. And looks like Victoria has one more question.
Just one quick question. So how long will it take before you guys will tell me, or like, what should I do?
Yeah. So you filled out the survey like a couple hours ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a process. So we have 2 big processing days that we do are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you'll probably have all of your stuff to you by like 12 o'clock I think it's 3 hours plus GMT tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I think I'm 3 hours plus GMT. I don't know. Christina, do you know? Does anybody know? I think I'm 4 hours plus.
Right.
Anyways, I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you're
Canada.
right. You're at 4 hours plus because
So that means four. Anyways, you're gonna have it like within less than 24 hours. Okay, Victoria.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's fantastic. Thanks.
And we might. Oh, but we might send you like a couple questions.
Mhm.
So just make sure that you have your notifications enabled, so that if we send you a direct message, you check Photocracy or you get a notification on your email.
Cool.
Okay.
Sorry for being too straight. I didn't realize.
No. Fuck it. Like, don't worry about it. Just lay it out. I'll do the massaging. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
God forbid I'm the masseuse. Jeez. Good thing
have
that's
a good
not
night,
her.
everybody.
Have a good night. Hope your migraine gets better. And yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Victoria. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.